My name is Juliet Awolesi. I'm a fashion designer based here in Manchester, United Kingdom. And yeah, I'm a mom and a Christian at that.
Oh,
a proud
thank
one.
you.
Mhm.
Thank you very much for coming.
Felbert Chukagozie, I am involved. I'm a Christian. I'm involved in youth work, especially Christian youth work. I organize on masking issues. Well, I think fashion springs up from the way people dress and the way they present themselves.
I say fashion is a way of expressing oneself, is a state of mind, is individuality, is personality. I can go on, and it's a way to also identify one individual from another. And you have a reverend father from a doctor, a nurse from a midwife, and also your state of mind. You express who you are within through, your outward dressing.
Some Christians have a separate set of dress code for church and parties. What is your opinion about this, Juliet?
We say dress the way you want to be addressed. That's number one. And I don't think as a Christian you want to wear something that as a fashion designer, I think I'll keep going back to that because I believe fashion should make you comfortable. It should be something you're comfortable in. So I don't, going to church and dressing in a certain way that you're not comfortable with, I think it will even distract you from receiving, in the first place. Because if you're there and you're not comfortable, when they say raise your hand, you're cautious of yourself, and then you've robbed yourself from gaining, what you have actually come to gain. But again, as a child of God, this is also, I wrote an article about this, and I say, as children of God, we are children of the kingdom. If God the Father is a king and is your father, and you're his child, which means you're a royal breed, isn't it? So when you come into a place, I don't know if you've seen any princess or a queen who walks into a place without being noticed. And if I'm going to meet with the king, just like the Queen of England, I'm not going to go to the Queen of England I'm going to wear the best of it, isn't it? Just to represent myself. So that is what it is for me. And I believe as children of God.
Okay, so Etta, do you have Sunday best?
Well, to drawing from the
What she
royalty
said.
point of view,
Yes.
the queen herself sometimes has some castles where she go on holidays and what have you. If the queen decides to go and play golf, you don't expect her to dress up in the way she's going to dress when she's addressing
That's right.
the Commonwealth of Nations Assembly.
Mm-hmm.
I think the important thing is decency
Yes. Yeah.
and appropriateness.
That's right.
You can dress inappropriate, but you are not indecent.
Okay.
Now, if you wear a workshop uniform to a business meeting, that may not be indecent, but it's not appropriate. But you could be indecently dressed even in workshop, or indecently dressed even in a business meeting. What draws the curtain is, are you decent? Now, the moment you take up the issue of decency and indecency, you begin to see the appropriateness of every other thing.
That's right.
When you celebrate your birthday, you don't wear your work uniform even if you're a police person.
That's right.
So if you think you're coming to do celebration in church, you know what you wear when you're going to celebrate. But whether you're going to celebrate or you're going to workshop or you're a police person or what have you, just guard against decency and indecency.
Yeah.
The dichotomy between what Christianity believes and what Christianity does not believe
That's right.
is about decency.
So, Juliet, what
Yeah.
is wrong in being in vogue or fashionable as a Christian?
As a Christian, God is our model. So what is Christianity? Christ like. If you are a Christian and you want to be in vogue, it depends on where you're drawing your inspiration from. Anything you put on, the Holy Spirit will also caution you even before you leave the house. I think that's the number one thing. I don't know if I'm making sense.
You are right, but I think we should break
Yeah.
it down.
I'm trying
Being in vogue means
Okay.
everything that is happening at the
Okay.
moment. What is
Okay,
raining?
let me-
What is?
I have to keep going back to myself. I don't know if it's making sense because this is what I do. On my fashion line, when you look at the red carpet styles and all that, I don't really draw my inspirations from there, because some people will be like, we don't really see all these things. I say because I see them, and all you see most of the time doesn't represent what I believe in. You see the nudity, you see the very low cleavage and all those things, and by the time I follow it, this is not what I represent.
think when it comes to following a trend of Vogue, like you said, I have everything against and for it. Against is, number one, you don't run yourself into debt because you want to be in vogue. Number two, don't expose yourself to undue competition because you want to be in vogue. And number three, how appropriate is the vogue relative to your values? Relative to your values. I'm coming. If the vogue falls in line with my values, other things held constant, like it's not pushing me into undue pressure of competition, into debt, and what have you, fine. Now, three-piece suit is crawling back into vogue for men now. There is nothing wrong in it. Okay, it's gonna come, it's gonna die off. Now, casuals, smart casuals are coming back again. People are beginning to wear chinos and then jackets and top and what have you. As long as that particular thing that is in vogue fits into your core values and is not pushing into undue pressure of overdrawing your finance, competing and distracting you, that's no problem.
Deuteronomy 22:5 says, a woman must not wear men's clothing, nor a man's wear women's clothing. For the Lord your God detests anyone who does this. Can you please shed more light on this, Ethel?
Okay, this has been what I call one of the miscellaneous ethics issues in Christian definition and understanding. Now, I do hope that we know that what the scripture is saying there is not conventionally a woman wearing jean or not. The reason why is because it's good for us to have a good understanding. The Indians have their culture. When you see an Indian woman, you will see her wear trousers, their kind of design, but you know that that's a woman. When you see the Arabs, all of them wear a very long thing, but you know that this, if you go to the shop, you know that this belongs to a woman. What the scripture is saying there is this. There are certain things that is happening in the society today where some women are trying to play down on their femininity and project masculinity. And some men are trying to play down their masculinity and project femininity. That is what has brought about what they call cross-dressing and what have you. You see some women tie some things on their chest so that their chest will go flat because they want to be men and what have you. God is against men who are projecting themselves as women, trying to appear like a woman, and women who are trying to appear like men. We do know that when you see a woman wear a woman's clothing, she projects femininity. She is adorable. When a man wears a man's clothing, she projects masculinity. You know that this is a man. The suit for a man is designed for a man. The suit for a woman is designed for a woman. Trousers for women, when you see a woman's trouser, you know the dressing, the cutting, the styling. When you see the one that belongs to a man, you know that. But today, you see men who polish their nails, put on lipstick, do their hair. They are just transiting from a man to woman. And you also see women who cut their hair in such a way, package themselves in certain ways, and just want to put it to you that I hate the way I was made. I want to be a man. That is the spirit. The Bible says when the spirit of truth comes, he will lead you into all truth.
That's right.
That is the truth. That is what the Spirit of God. Jesus said, I did not come to condemn or to abolish the law, but to fulfill it. There is no law in the Old Testament that had been abolished. Jesus fulfilled it. So, for people who say, that's in the Old Testament, it doesn't apply now, it is actually now that it applies. The scripture still holds. Deuteronomy chapter 22 verse 5 is still real till today. If you doubt it, go to city center and you see those God is speaking to. You don't need to be
Is
told you see
makeup
them.
wrong?
Thank you.
No.
Is having hair color is it wrong?
Okay, let me give you a clear-cut example of what happened growing up. There were these Christians that were going for a mission outreach in a certain village. Now, in that village were people who had a certain kind of understanding. So they came, their hair were not covered, they had their long hair, they had their jean trousers, and they were all on the stage and they were dancing. Nobody came to that village. Nobody came out to listen to them. Because the understanding they had was, like we said earlier on, ladies who wear trousers are breaking the law. People who wear long hair are mermaids. and people who wear nail polish are
Banky.
you understand? And then I asked the question, what happened? They said they didn't have understanding of what is happening, so they continued. I said, did anybody come out? No. I said, you failed. I said, what would it have cost you people to go wear the maxi they want, remove or tie your hair, and win them, and then gradually expose them to the truth? What would it cost you? Now you have imposed your knowledge of eating everything, and you have spoiled the spirit of him who could eat little. You use your superiority and your maturity to rub off on the weak person. And the scripture says, he that winneth his soul is wise. Why? Wisdom is the understanding on how to apply knowledge. Now you have the knowledge, but you don't know how to apply it. Are you getting me?
Yes.
So this is the way you look at
Dressing
this thing.
naked to hook up with a man. What kind of man? Are you looking for a boy
Coming
or a
from
man?
the perspective of a man.
Of a man, yeah.
I want to say two things. Number one, the more you offer what should be offered later, is the more men rank you lower. Men see you as the easier one. Proverbs chapter 6 made mention of a harlot's attire. So there is a kind of dress in your dress you put on. You just signal to a man when he's passing that this one is marketing something. You sincerely don't need to be revealing a part of your body that should be private in order for you to look attractive. Look, the most beautiful. I don't know the age of people that are listening, but there is this young lady I like looking her pictures on the Facebook. Her name is Malia Obama, the daughter of the US president. Her dressing is something else. Exquisite, beautiful, on point, but you will never see her dress indecently.
Thank you
Just
very
check her
much.
up on Facebook,
Thank
and you
you.
will see what every responsible man
Girl.
is looking for, that kind of responsible lady. And remember, your level of responsibility in the eyes of men are also measured with your level of decency when you dress.
There are so many disturbing videos now online, especially Instagram. I don't know if it's pressure on mothers or to catch up. I don't get it. Okay, dressing your child up on designer clothing, head to toe, whether they are real or not, right? Okay, let's say because some parents can afford it. Let's put it that way. But when they are revealing, when I mean revealing, I mean really, really revealing. You start thinking, is he a child or is he an adult? And then we are talking about perverts. When you've dressed up your child, she have lost the innocency. What are we talking about here? Because I tell you, most of us, before we became the Christians, some of us, we had values. We were talking about it before now. The values that your parents imbibe in you from a child, that's what you grew up with. No matter where you find yourself. Because I see some people, even when you find yourself in the wrong way, in the wrong place, because of the things you've been taught from growing up, you can't do those things. I beg every mother, no matter how stylish you are, you can still look beautiful. This is what I represent. You can look beautiful covered up. But leave that girl alone. Let her grow up like a child, please. The makeup, the eyebrow, the wig, the whatever, please stop it. They look horrible in those things. They do. And I'm speaking as a mom. I have 2 children. And I saw some horrible videos of 2 children, doing what adults do. This is because of this type of things. By the time you're dressing up a girl who is 4, you're not even allowing her to be a child. So that means you can't wait for her to grow up. And then when she grows up, you want her to become like a... So what are we talking about here? Please, I'm picking every mom. I'm not here to judge any mom. Please, that's one thing I want to get us right. But please, let your child be a child. There's some pretty dresses, bold dresses that a girl can wear with her hair packed and bubble. Yeah, she can make her hair and all those things. But not the makeup, no. Not carrying handbags and wearing the skimpy. There are some of them you see, the crop tops and everything and posing away. No, please.
Generally, it is not acceptable. I don't believe in it. And even in the society, celebrities have been fighting against each other for doing it to their daughters. Talk more of those who are not celebrities. So it's not even an issue we should bring into church. You shouldn't, whether it is in church or out of church or anywhere, whether you're a man or a woman, wear things that should reveal what ordinarily should be covered in public. There are certain things married men like us buy for our wives to wear in the bedroom. That is the appropriate and the decent thing to do, to wear in the bedroom. If she finds herself on the street with that, that is the inappropriate and indecent thing. Everything has its place. Right. Don't wear lingerie that is meant for bedroom, to church or to work or to the street. It is the wrong place.
Dress the way you want to be addressed. So if you are a sister in church and you're in the choir and you want to raise those holy hands and you find yourself struggling, do you really think you have to wear it? Sitting in the front row, you can't sit comfortably. Is it really necessary? That brother you're looking at, you want to attract, let me tell you, that brother that you'll attract, he's suited up. He looks like that fire because he's speaking in tongues. I'll tell you something. By the time he marries you, he will manifest who he truly is. Because what you are is what you attract. Dress in a decent way. This will attract a real man to you. It only takes the grace of God to send a man that will finally bring you to God. It will take the grace of God. But if you dress in that way, trust me, you're attracting a boy.